This woman pretended to be insane so she could investigate an asylum. Hello and welcome to day 13 of Creepy History, where I uncovered chilling facts from the past during spooky season, and today we're talking about Nellie Bly. And yes, I know it's the same day, but I'm a little bit behind schedule, so I'm trying to catch up. Nellie Bly was an American journalist in the late 19th century, and she wanted to write about issues that were particularly pressing. Some of her article subjects included the reforming of divorce laws, poor working conditions for women and children in factories, and even the tyrannical governments of Porfirio Diaz in Mexico. And in 1887, she undertook an assignment for Joseph Pulitzer's newspaper, The New York World. This assignment was to investigate reports of harsh conditions in a woman's asylum. In order to be admitted to the asylum, Nellie stayed in a boarding house. She would stay up all night and then accuse the other boarders of being mad. People started to fear her and she was reported to the police. After being taken to a courthouse, Nellie was examined by various officials before being declared mad and sent to an asylum on Blackwell Island. Bly would stay at this asylum for 10 days. She reported that once she was in the asylum, she dropped all acts of madness. She was intrigued to find that the more sane she acted, the more people treated her like she was insane. She reported that nurses were cruel to the women inside, being both verbally and physically abusive. Also, because of budget cuts, there weren't nearly enough doctors available for the amount of women in the asylum. The food and water were filthy and not safe for consumption. There were rats everywhere, and patients bathed by having freezing water poured over them with buckets. Then they were roughly scrubbed by attendants. The bathwater was often reused until it was virtually filthy. And even when the bathwater was replaced, the tub in which it came from was not cleaned. Towels were also shared between inmates and rarely washed, which led to horrible sores and skin conditions. Some women were forced to sit in place entirely still for hours. Other women would be tied together and forced to haul carts. And Bly was horrified to discover that many of the women inside were completely sane. Some women only ended up in asylums because they couldn't afford to go anywhere else. Other women had been imprisoned because they were immigrants taken in by law enforcement. And those who were in the asylum for mental illness had their conditions worsened severely because of the harsh treatments. Following the publication of Bly's article, a bill was passed to increase funding for mental institutions. Bly's efforts also introduced what was known as stunt girl journalism, in which women would go undercover to investigate conditions or potentially expose scandals.